Opening the episode, we see that the Justice League is storming the White House?
Almost there. What about you two?
Coming.
I'll catch up in a minute. Wait for me.
The hell? And the president is apparently Lex Luthor?
They couldn't see the beauty. No imagination. They'd rather fight.
Even this wasn't enough for you, was it? You had to have it all.
Now Luthor is taunting Superman? And now Superman seems really pissed off? And, well, holy crap, Superman just took out Lex Luthor.
Are you okay?
I'm great.
2 years later, the League has become the Justice Lords and appears to pretty much control Earth, deciding when the US government can hold elections and dispersing protests when they occur, though not all are happy about it.
Remember when everyone liked us?
Since when does that matter to you?
Since I started seeing the fear on everyone's face.
Superman is dining with Lois Lane, and likely the most awkward moment you'll ever see between the two.
After 2 years, you don't know?
Here we go.
The world's in permanent lockdown, free speech is all but dead, and you don't know what's wrong?
Lois, we've been over this 1,000 times. Why can't you see the bigger picture?
Before Superman and the rest of the Justice Lords are called to the Batcave.
You're right. We never did. But they're having one right now.
They?
We're looking at another dimension.
Having seen the images of the alternate Earth, the Lords decide to visit, intending to impose their own brand of justice upon the other world. In the real universe of the Justice League, they've just defeated Luthor as the other Jean appears before them, and of course walks them all into a trap. Though of course Hawkgirl refuses to go down easily. All but the Lord version of Batman go into the real universe and are soon confronted by the powerful being known as Doomsday. Seeking to end the fight quickly and with less fear about consequences, Lord Superman lobotomizes him. Whilst some are accepting of this new active ideal, to others it's obvious things have changed.
It's not them.
Back with the real League, both Flash and Batman question the Lord Batman about this situation. There appears to be no chance of escape as Batman cannot outthink himself as this happens.
Flash! Flash!
With the League now free, they set off to find Hawkgirl, who was taken to hospital after their fight, whilst Batman goes to the Lord version of the Batcave. Inside the cave, Batman is confronted by the Lord version, the two squaring off both physically and mentally, debating how this world can run as it does.
I didn't forget. I just chose peace and security instead. You grabbed power, and with that power, we've made a world where no 8-year-old boy will ever lose his parents because of some punk with a gun.
The League goes to the one place where they would keep a superpowered being in need of medical treatment, Arkham, finding many villains all with their telltale lobotomy marks on their heads. However, the League is caught out by a double set security feature and are attacked by robot supermen, which of course don't last long as the League finds Hawkgirl. Batman and the Lord version drive through Gotham, partially continuing to debate what the Lord's been doing. However, the League Batman has only one question.
They'd love it here, don't you think? Who? Mom and Dad. They'd be so proud of you.
Reaching Arkham, the Lord version of Batman has become a changed man and sides with the Justice League, allowing them to leave for their own reality to face the versions of themselves who are more than willing to do what they won't. At the Watchtower, the Lords are called to action with Luthor breaking free from jail. However, it's revealed to be a trap set by the League themselves, which may actually be the first time they've set up a trap instead of being caught in one for once. Every fight seems to be going evenly, with Lord Superman confronting Flash and looking very close to killing him.
Can't do it, can you? I'm the last piece of your conscience. And this is the one thing you'll never do.
I've done a lot of things I thought I'd never do these last 2 years. One more won't hurt.
However, Luthor appears along with Superman and drains the powers of the Justice Lords, revealing that he made a deal with the League.
What deal?
A full pardon in exchange for his help. Everything he does from now on is your fault! It's a high price, but it's better than the alternative.
Whilst later on, Lex reveals at a press conference that he's thinking of a new career path.
Oh, the business world doesn't seem as challenging as it used to, and there's no poetry in it either. I have been giving some thought to politics.
Ending the episode. The episode has a lot of solid points to it, the major one being the introduction. For all intents and purposes, we don't need to see the Justice Lords controlling everything, or how people react to them. These things could easily be assumed. But by showing them, and showing the Lord's reaction to them, it helps build up who these characters are, and how they've changed from those we know. And to have a good chunk of the first episode devoted to that works well, showing us perfectly instead of characters using exposition. And while this episode is pretty perfect, it does fall flat just a little. For all its setup, it leaves the Justice Lords a little flat in parts, as we can understand Superman's mentality and why Batman has a change of heart during the episode, but what about the others? John, Wonder Woman and John rarely ever speak during the episode in terms of expanding their characters, with only Hawkgirl really doing so in questioning people's fear. It feels like there was something left unexplored. Hawkgirl is obviously beginning to turn away from the idea the Justice Lords represent, yet for the rest of the episode she happily goes along with things. Equally as odd is that Lord John still has his power ring. How can someone who's subjugating a planet still be a Green Lantern, since it was a similar act that got Sinestro thrown out of the Green Lanterns, at least in the original comics. If they cut back a bit on the number of Justice Lords instead of it just being the Flash who died, then maybe we could have had a bit more time for the idea of dissenting opinions within their group to appear. As it would have been interesting to see a possible side effect of their stranglehold, that the team is slowly breaking apart. However, this episode makes it to just under the top 3 on our list, making it a better world at number 4.
Hey people, and thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the next one of these a full day before anybody else, you can do that by supporting me on my Patreon page. However, if you're watching this on my Patreon page, then thanks for your support.